I'm so excited to have this conversation with you all. This is a topic that is really, really close to my heart, and I would love to share with you a new way of looking at it. So my topic, as you know, today is meditation style based on the Ayurvedic body types, right? So let us start first with meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is a state of being. A meditation is a state of holding awareness for whatever is arising in us. So I have seen many people confuse meditation with the doing, like an activity. I have to do meditation, right? Meditation is not doing. Meditation is being, just being, whatever is arising. And the other thing is that people think meditation means that they need to be calm and peaceful, which is also not true, because meditation is checking in with your inner world, what is happening. And some days it will be chaotic. Some days there will be storms arising, but our job in meditation is to just stand on the shore and observe that. Observe the waves of the ocean, how they are, whether they are calm or whether they are stormy. So the example I usually like to give is like, where would you learn swimming? Would you learn it straight away in the ocean, or would you like to learn it in the safety of the swimming pool? So ideally, if we learn it in the safety of the swimming pool, we know we are safe, temperature is maintained, there is no threat to our life, and we can expand ourselves to our maximum limits. We can check out our strength, how far we can go, how long we can stay in water, and compete with ourselves or challenge ourselves. And then when we go into the ocean, if we meet chaos, if we meet a storm, we already know what our strengths are, how far we can swim and hold on, and that helps us to come back to the safety in a much safer way. Does that make sense? So meditation is what we do every day to be aware of what is going on in us, which is our safe space to checking in with our own hearts. And then when we go out into the life will always throw curveballs, and things will come up in daily routine that will trigger us or throw us into chaos. But because we have done that practice of meditation, we are more aware of our inner strengths, if it makes sense. And then we can navigate the chaos that is showing up in our world with ease and grace. We can be like, okay, this is all right. I know what my strengths are, how much I can be stretched, and then I can manage life with ease. Yes? Keep popping your questions in the comments. Yeah, awesome. So meditation is the state of awareness. This is what I want to talk about. But we always know that one person who says, I cannot sit in stillness. Because most of the people presume meditation means that you have to sit still for hours. And that is just not possible. And for some people, sitting for 2 minutes is hard. They cannot sit, they cannot calm their mind. And forget about certain people, when we are in chaos or when we are going through fearful situation in life, or we are going through anxiety, we find it difficult to sit in meditation, to go into that state of being. Yes. So why does this happen and how to deal with it? This is where Ayurveda comes in. So I am an Ayurvedic practitioner. And Ayurveda is the Indian system of medicine. It is a 5,000 years old system of medicine. And the basic fundamental philosophy of Ayurveda is that everything, the entire world, is made up of 5 elements: space, air, fire, water, and earth. These 5 elements come together in pairs to make 3 main biodynamic forces. These 3 biodynamic forces are called doshas. So dosha is a Sanskrit word which basically means that which can be corrupted. So doshas make the body, they make the normal physiology of the body. Everybody has got all the 3 doshas in their body, but because of our diet and lifestyle, they have a tendency to become corrupted. They have a tendency to become imbalanced. And when they go into imbalance, they produce disease, sickness in the body and the mind. Yes? So if any questions, please pop them in the comments. I hope it's all clear till now. Now, we have these 3 pairs. Let's talk about the 3 doshas now. Air and space come together to make the dosha, which is called vata. Vata basically is air and space. And hence the main characteristic feature of Vata is the movement. Yes. So let's explain Vata. Let's go into Vata first. Air and space come together to make the main biodynamic force of Vata, which is movement. It produces movement in the entire body. Take a moment to now tune into your body and see and notice breathing in, breathing out. That is a movement, right? And air is moving into the lung space. The food, when we put it in the mouth, and how it moves through the digestive tract, the peristaltic movement. That is the movement of Vata, right? If it doesn't go well, we can get constipation or bloating or refluxes, right? The movement of the muscles and bones, the joints, the musculoskeletal system, which is getting us from one place to the other. The movement of the nerves, the movement of the signals that go through the brain into the neural junctions, which cause the thoughts, which get the input from the world to the brain, interpret it, and then from the brain send the action out into the world. This is all movement. But let's go beyond, and that is the beauty of Ayurveda. Beyond the physical movements, it is the movement of the thoughts and emotions as well. Yes. And mostly with Vata, the emotions that tend to sort of imbalance Vata are fear, worry, and grief. And as we can see, when we are in extreme fear, we use the term frozen with fear. Yes. And then grief holds us down. It makes all movement stop. It makes time stop for us. Right. And then we have worry or anxiety, in which there is excessive movement, that a continuous thought loop which does not stop at all. So Vata controls the movement of how our thoughts are going, how our mind is going. Yeah. Now, for the Vata types, when they go into the meditation, let us talk about the clairs. So these people are usually clairvoyant or clairaudient. They have a capacity to see, because Vata is subtle and it is creative, and it can go into the crevices. It can see what other people cannot see, and it can hear. So for these people, if you say sit in stillness for 2 minutes, that is hard, because Vata, air and space, needs movement. So the best form of meditation style is what is mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, the Karma Yoga, the acts of service. Yeah, they come in very handy. Now, when we do, in India, it is like very accepted that we go to the temples and we will sweep the floor and do the dishes there. Those are the acts of service we offer to the divine. But you do not have to go anywhere. In your house, when you are doing the mopping, the vacuuming, doing the dishes, or cooking the food, you can invoke that feeling of devotion, that whatever act you are doing, it is a service to the divine. And then the act itself becomes a meditative state. Yes? So even though you are moving, you are still doing the same acts, your intention has changed, and you are completely focused on that act as a devotion. And that helps you to use the excessive energy of the air, and it has reached its peak, and then the stillness can come. Because when we have had a big run and then we sit down, it's like complete stillness. Yes. So we need to use the energy of air and space to raise it up to the pinnacle, so that when it reaches there, then it can drop down with ease, and then the stillness comes naturally. Then the Vata type will just go into that silence and stillness, and they would not struggle. They will not be resisting it. Another form of doing it is through the pranayam, the breathing exercise, because air element, definitely pranayam, the breathing exercises, is the best complement for it. So doing the alternate nostril breathing or deep breathing, following the pathway of the breath, breathing in and breathing out, and focusing on that. And if you like, you can take it a step further. You can count from 100 backwards with every breath. So it keeps the conscious mind, it keeps the energy of Vata engaged while you are going deeper and deeper into the subtle layers. And when you reach the end of that exercise, when you have finished it, you fall into that stillness. It becomes easy to fall into that stillness. Yeah. There are a few other ways for Vata types to do meditation. For them, the guided visualizations work the best because there is a voice that is guiding them and inviting them to see or hear certain things. And it's easier for them to train their mind on that activity. Chanting is very effective. If you have a mantra which you have been given by a teacher or which calls to you, that is beautiful. Otherwise, simple use of affirmations will also work. You can use the affirmations to repeat them a certain number of times. Yes. So you would have seen usually there is the 108 beads mala, which is used for mantra chanting. That also keeps the mind engaged in the chanting of the mantra and engaging in the vibration, engaging in the sound, so that the conscious mind is engaged and then the subconscious mind can go deeper. Yeah. So mantra chanting can be used. Another beautiful form which might or might not be suitable is the dancing. So the Sufi dancers you would have seen, they usually just swirl around in that meditative state, and that is also building up that energy to the pinnacle where they dance and they swirl and swirl and swirl, and then they fall into the stillness. But we can take it outdoors. We can make walking in nature a meditation. So when you're walking in nature, taking every step as it is a sacred divine step on the breast of dear Mother Earth, and with full conscious awareness taking that walk in the nature, that becomes a meditation as well. But it also helps to engage Vata in the way that suits its best, the movement. And then after the walk, when you sit down, you can go into the stillness because you have used the excessive motion already, right? So if the Vata type, when we have Vata excess in the body, or we are Vatic body type, it will be hard to sit immediately in stillness. We have to first engage in some kind of activity that will use that excessive energy and then bring it into the stillness. Yeah. So these are the few forms in which Vata types can do. These are the meditation styles that would suit them to get started and then move into. So for Vata types, action is important. Doing certain action, whether it's in the form of writing, singing, dancing, walking, moving, or doing acts, and then coming into the stillness. This brings us to the next one, which is the combination of fire and water, which is the Pitta. So the fire, as you can see, fire cannot get dirty, right? Fire, whatever you put in it will burn it and purify it. So fire is the transformation. In the physical body, if you take a moment to just tune into your body, you will notice that there is a heat in the belly that transforms the food we put into the body into the nutrients, which goes then ahead to make our bone, bloods, and muscles. And then there is the fire in the heart, which is the fire that pumps, that gets the circulation. But it is also the fire of love, the fire of wisdom. Yeah. So as there is a physical fire in the body, in the eyes, that helps us to, the light, the glow that helps us to see, in the skin, the glow that comes with the fire, in the body, the metabolism that is happening, all the chemical reactions. In the heart, this fire is the warmth of the love we feel from the others. So we transform that emotion, we receive that emotion and then transform it into our own experience. And in the same way, there is facts and knowledge. So I'm giving you certain facts and you are listening, and the fire in your brain is transforming it. It is transforming it into ideas. And then when you apply them, they become your experience. You embody that wisdom, and then it becomes a part of you. Then it comes naturally for you. Think of it like brushing your teeth every day. The kids are taught so little to brush their teeth every day that now as a grown-up, do you ever question that you have to brush your teeth? No matter what is happening, how depressed you are, how much pain we have, if we have a hangover, if we had a late night, if we were stressed, no matter what happens, we will get up and go and brush our teeth because it's become automatic second nature. So this is what the fire can do to us. It creates transformation in us. It allows us to take the inputs from the external world, but then cook it, literally cook it into something which is compatible with who we are, and then make us absorb it. And if it's not compatible, it is burnt away, it is shed away, it isn't taken in. So for the Pitta type, the logic, the argument, the logic is very important. They need to know the rationale behind everything. And for them, the clair that is associated with them is the clair cognizant, which is the knowing without knowing how they know. And this is why it is the trickiest one, because it is all in the thinking mind, and it is hard to differentiate between whether they are thinking, or is it the intuition, or is it their ego mind. For the pitta types, the Gyan Yoga, the yoga which brings in the knowledge, the information, is the one that would be most suitable. So what kind of meditation style would suit the pitta types? The kind of meditation style that will suit the pitta types is introspection and contemplation. So they need the information prior to doing anything. For example, if I say to a pitta type person, you need to close down your eyes and take nice deep breaths for 5 minutes, they will question it. They will be, why do I need to do this? What is the benefit of doing this? Why should I be doing this? But if I explain to them that, look, ages ago, if we were in the forest and we met a lion, our whole body would go into fight and flight response, and more cortisol will be produced, and we would be ready to run away. The body will then come back to its normal status after 48 hours. But now we have got the lion in the form of our boss or a partner or our children or work or something else in our room with us all the time. So our body is constantly producing stress, and it is in fight and flight mode, and it is not in the healing mode. It is not nurturing or healing. So when we close our eyes and we take deep breaths, we are stimulating the parasympathetic nervous system, and we are sending a signal to our physiology that it is safe to go into the healing mode. We are not in that survival, fight and flight mode anymore, but we are safe. And in this safe mode, then the healing, the nurturing can happen. So when I explain all this to the pitta person, then it would be easy for them to meditate. Then it would be easy for them to go in and close their eyes and take deep breaths, knowing what it is doing to them. Another way of working for them is through the contemplation, through asking the questions. Every belief and thought that comes up, where is it coming from? What is deeper than this? Is the intention behind this of love or fear? If it is fear, then what kind of fear it is? And journal writing would work very well for them. So for the pitta type person, if they want to do meditation, the best would be to first read some books, have some literature handy, have an understanding of why the techniques are being used, and have the prompts of journal writing, and have a prompt for meditation. So when they sit in meditation, not just going into the stillness, but going in with the focus. Because as you know, fire is focused, sharp, intense, so they need that. So always going in with the focus, whether it is like, today I will focus on gratitude and focus on feelings of gratitude, then it will work. But if you go without any focus, then you will get lost. Yeah, does that make sense? Any questions? Just keep putting them in the comments. So those are our beautiful pitta type people. And for them, thinking is of the priority. So they need to think their way through the meditative states. And that is because that is their strength. Instead of fighting and resisting it, we use it. We use it so that we give them we turn that challenge into a strength. So we say, okay, you have to do these prompts, you have to do this journal writing, and then you can engage yourself in the meditative states and try to go deeper, right? Then there is the kapha, which is the earth and water combination. So as you can see, earth is nurturing and water is flowing. For the kapha type, the stillness comes naturally, because for earth to move, it takes time, right? Earth would not like to move. So kapha type people usually don't want to move. They would be in the stillness very easily. But the challenge for them then is that what I call is a dead stillness and a alive stillness. So what happens with the dead stillness? Dead stillness is the stillness of a rock that is sitting on the surface of the earth for thousands of years. There is very little change happening, none at all, like minuscule. We do not wish to be like dead rock. So it's very easy for kapha type people to sit for 2 hours and be there, sit there in meditation, and then the ego mind goes into the story of, oh, I can sit in meditation for 2 hours, I can sit in stillness for 2 hours. But the question to ask is there any transformation happening in your life? Is it showing up in your reality? Is your reality changing? Because what is this world? This world is the evidence that our inner work is working. Yes. If we look at the law of correspondence, as within, so without, as above, so below. So whatever is out in the world we are seeing is a reflection of our inner world. If we are doing the inner work right, outer world will change. I guarantee you. I have done this for myself a couple of times now. Outer situations which I thought would never change, and I was told never change, and I kept doing the inner work and they changed. They literally changed, where I have to now pinch myself and ask, is this really happening? So the world is a reflection. If there is no change in your reality, if you are doing the meditation practices, but your world is not changing, then something is missing. Some piece is missing. Yeah, because if you apply yourself to the meditation practice correctly, definitely 100% your world will change. There is no chance it won't change, right? So we do not want to go in the dead stillness of the kapha. We want to go into the alive stillness. What is the alive stillness? Alive stillness is of a seed planted beneath the earth. So when you look at it from the surface, you don't see any change. You're like, the seed is planted in the earth. That's it. But deep inside the earth, that seed is changing. There is so much growth happening. The seed is growing roots and shoots, it's breaking open its shell, it is working through the earth to find its way to the surface till it actually bursts out as a plant and then blooms. This is the kind of stillness we want for the kapha, the sattvic stillness, where in that stillness, the work is happening in the inner domain and we are growing, we are expanding, we are evolving as a soul. Yes? So for the kapha types, like I said, this is the challenge. And the kaphas, the most common and clear is the clear sentient. They are the feeling person. They're the heart person. Everything comes with emotion for them. For them to keep the alive stillness and the devotion, it is very important to have a unique relationship with the divine. So if they go into the meditation thinking that God is my best friend or my lover or my teacher, and I am spending this time in being in the presence of this being, and then they engage their emotions, and with that love, with that willingness to be present in the presence of the divine, they go into the stillness, then they will reap the most benefits. Yes. So for the kapha types, like I said, kirtan would be good. Anything that evokes their emotions, that makes them feel, have a relationship with the divine, would be the best one, right? Now, based on this, I would love to see in the comments, what type do you think you are? And also I will PM me for the body type quiz, the Ayurvedic body type quiz, or I'll put it in the units. And you can go through the Ayurvedic body type and determine what body type you are. It is very fascinating when you have that lens of the, I now call them the archetype. So the archetypal dosha, and when you look at the world, you can see everything starts to make sense. You can look at your partner and say, okay, your fire is really high today. Or you are like, slow like earth. So I hope this was helpful in deciding the meditation types based on your body types. But even forget about the body types. We can go into those states. Like I said, all three doshas are present. So let's take a moment. I will take you through a quick journey to just go through all the elements in the devotion, in the space of that meditation, and feel into it and tune into it. Yes? So closing down your eyes and taking a nice deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Now, letting go of the world outside and feel yourself sinking deeper within. bringing your awareness to the center of the chest, into the beautiful heart center. And as you reach this beautiful place within your heart, making yourself comfortable here, we invite the first element, the earth. With respect to your meditation practice, notice how grounded is your devotion, how stable, how solid it is. Is it nurturing you like a beautiful valley, or has it become dry like a desert? Do you see many obstacles in the form of hills and mountains? Or is it cold, frozen land? How is the earth element showing up in your devotion? And in this space, just asking what is one action you can take to balance this. It might be as simple as placing a flower in front of you when you do the meditation. Notice whatever information comes to you. And we now prepare to connect with the next element, the water. Noticing the presence of the water element in your devotion, in your meditation. Is it starting like a tiny stream? Is it a rushing river? Or is it deep, slow, subtle bend of the river as it meets the ocean? Do you feel calm like the deep ocean? Or is the water element trapped somewhere? Trapped water that has become muddy, having no outlet. How is the water element showing up? And asking for one action step to balance this water element. It might be as simple as taking a bath with salts to cleanse your energy. Notice what information comes to you as we connect with the next element, the fire. How is the fire showing up in your meditation practice? Are you burning with desire to meet the divine? Are you overexerting yourself to find the solution? Or is the fire so low that no transformation is happening? Is it erupting like a volcano? All the triggers. Or is there a vast forest fire, heat of the desert, a dryness, and you feel that in this journey of your soul, you feel trapped in this heat? How is the fire element showing up in your meditation? And asking for one action to balance it. It might be as simple as lighting a candle when doing meditation, or writing your thoughts and burning it and watching the flames. We now connect with the next element, the air. How is the communication, the ideas, the movement showing up in your meditation? Is it a gentle breeze? Or is it unpredictable? Sometimes able to connect deep, sometimes not. Or has the air in here turned into a tornado, a cyclone? So many thoughts that they do not stop. Is it the icy wind or the hot wind of the desert? Is your devotion able to move with you into your routine, into your human life? How is the air element showing up? And asking for one simple action. It might be simply burning an incense stick. And we now connect with the next element, the space. How is the space in your inner world? Is it cluttered, constricted? Do you feel trapped in here? Or is it vast and expansive? Do you feel free to move here? Or do you feel contained? What does the space look like? And asking for a simple action, perhaps doing your meditation in the same place every day. Now we take a moment to thank all the 5 elements, taking a nice deep breath in through the nose, filling the belly, holding the breath as we anchor the wisdom we have received from all the 5 elements. And when you cannot hold any longer, releasing through the mouth with an audible sigh. When you feel ready, bringing gentle movement to your fingers and blinking open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me today evening for this session. I would love to know, what do you think, what your Ayurvedic body type is, and which element called to you, and what action was asked. It is really fascinating that for every single human being, it can show up in a different way. Every person has a unique way of connecting with these elements. The qualities that I see in water, perhaps you won't see those ones, you will notice some other ones, and the action to balance it might be entirely different. But just keeping an eye on which element is present in your life, you can take it further if you like, in your body, in your food, in your relationships, in your work, and whether it is in excess or is it deficient or is it balanced, and bringing that balance back brings the balance back to our natural state of being. If you have any questions, please do put in the comments. I would love to answer them. And I hope you have enjoyed this presentation. At least if it has inspired you to ask a few more questions and to explore your own body, yourself, to explore your inner soul yourself, to see what is coming up for you. And I will share the Ayurvedic body type quiz. Just send me a PM or I'll put it up here in the links. Thank you so much. Have a good night. Much love to you all. Thank you. Cannot figure out now how to end this.